and welcome back to the RSR Nürburg YouTube channel. My name is Raquel and I am here today with this beautiful Lotus Exige 240S. But why is this specific car so special for us? Because it is the last one in our car fleet and we are now saying goodbye to it after so many years of service. But why is this moment, this year so special as well? Because 2021 is the last year of production of the Lotus Exige after 25 years of success. RSR and the Lotus brand have a long history. We got the first ones 10 years ago and they were so popular that we ended up with more than 20 over the years. These cars have done with us road tours, they have done many public sessions at the Nürburgring, and of course they've done tons of track days at the Nürburgring, Spa, and even tracks like Ascari or Portimao. These cars, our Lotuses, did everything and they did it well. For many people around the world, it is a dream to drive one of these cars, but they are not able to do so because they don't have Lotus available in their home countries. So there is where it comes to us to make these dreams come true. So as we get into the car, we can see the simplicity of the interior. You just have what you need to drive the car. There's no luxury. The chassis of the car, the aluminum chassis, is uncovered. There are no mats. And you just have the steering wheel, the pedals, the manual transmission. And of course, behind me, there's a Toyota supercharged engine giving 240 horsepower. And as you can imagine, with a car like this, weighing a bit more than 900 kilos, it makes it for an explosive combination. Now let's go for a drive. So if I had to choose just one word to describe how it feels to drive these cars, it would be agility. You feel every input is directly translated to the tires. It feels so light, just so small. In the sitting position, you feel you're attached to the ground and attached to the car, as if you were in a race car. But if you really want to know more about these cars, then we have to speak to someone who is very passionate about the Lotus brand, who is Ron Simons, the owner of the company.
Probably we got in contact with Lotus because we were looking for a replacement for the Alfas. And I think the only one that replied was probably Lotus, because all the German manufacturers that you know, we didn't get anything out of them. And the deal with Lotus was sweet for us. They were able to supply us, I think, at first 6 cars, and then we had 12, and then came the 211 and the 260 Cup. So in the end, that was a worth-free successor to the Alfa 75, because it was also a rear-wheel drive, a real driver's car, so where the Alfa didn't have any ABS or ESP or anything else, the Lotus had a little bit of that. But it was pretty primitive and basic, and it was, as said, it was a real driver's car. You had to drive the car. The car wouldn't drive for you. You had to drive the car. So what I really like is the way you can heel and toe with the car. The paddle box and the setting. Yes, it's all very narrow, but when you press the brake and the brake feels firm and hard, as in a racing car, your throttle is right at the right level. So you don't need to what we did with the Alfas, or even with the Porsches, the the 996, you have to, you know, tweak with that the throttle pedal is at the right level when you press the brake. In the Lotus, it's when it comes from the factory, it is set up in the right way. We used to use the Alfas for teaching people how to heel and toe, and we took out the most rotten synchro Alfas to do that, so they had to really hit it right. But with the Lotus, it's the same thing. It's a perfect car to heel and toe. Well, the first 6 cars, I think we drove them from the Nürburgring to Spa, where we had an after 6 session, and we were running them in. So that was special. 6 of these brand new cars, driving them on the back roads from Nürburgring to Spa, and then have an after 6 at dawn, driving them first to 5,000 RPM, then 6, and then to 8. They were screaming. Beautiful cars. Great fun. And the other thing I remember is when so we had the 240s with, let's say, 220 horsepower. Then we had the 240s with 240 horsepower, and the 240S is, I think, 930 kilos. Then we got a 260 Cup, which is 260 horse and 830 kilos. And with the 260 Cup, I think we did the taxi laps in VLN. And there was the Friday VLN racing practice, and we were, there was all kinds of stuff on track. But I remember well, there was a whole herd of 997. That was 2010, 2012 or something. So there was a 997 Cup car. And we would drive at the same speeds, the same lap times as a 997 Cup car. On the Nordschleife in the wet. It was sensational. So people really loved it.